Being president of the United States isn't just about power, prestige, or having Air Force One at your disposal. There's no other job quite like it. The president is the leader of the free world, the commander-in-chief, and the person who holds the nuclear codes, while somehow still finding time for lunch. It's a relentless, high-stakes, 24/7 job where every decision, no matter how small, has consequences. Today, we're diving into the daily life of a U.S. president, what really happens behind the historic walls of the White House. But before we get started, here's an executive order for you. Subscribe to Daily Life Diary and let us know in the comments. If you were president for a day, what's the first thing you'd do? The world doesn't sleep, and neither does the president, Keys. You might think the president wakes up in a silk robe, sipping coffee on a White House balcony. Not quite. The reality? Most presidents are up before dawn. Whether it's 5 a.m. or 6 a.m., the first thing they do is check in on the world. That's right. Before brushing their teeth or thinking about breakfast, the president receives a classified intelligence briefing. This thick, leather-bound dossier contains global threats, diplomatic updates, and, most importantly, details of any overnight crises. This isn't a casual morning scroll through the news. It's a direct dose of high-stakes reality every single morning. For President Trump, sources say he's an early riser, sometimes as early as 5 a.m., starting his day with a quick scan of the news. After absorbing the world's problems before most people have had their coffee, it's time for breakfast. Some presidents prefer a light meal. Barack Obama liked eggs, wheat toast, and fruit. Others, like LBJ, practically had a Texas-sized steak for breakfast. President Trump starts his day with a Diet Coke. But don't expect a quiet morning. Breakfast meetings are common, sometimes with advisors, sometimes with family, and sometimes with world leaders visiting town. Even the first meal of the day is a political event. From 8 a.m. onwards, the West Wing becomes a hive of controlled chaos. The president's schedule is packed with national security briefings discussing military movements, cyber threats, and international conflicts. Legislative updates, keeping up with Congress, tracking bills, and figuring out who needs persuading. Policy decisions, weighing executive orders, environmental policies, and controversial arms deals. No pressure. For President Trump, the real action begins at 7:30 a.m. with the President's Daily Brief, PDB. This isn't your average morning memo. Delivered by the Director of National Intelligence, the PDB is a top-secret rundown of the world's most urgent flashpoints, like North Korea's latest missile test or a cyber attack brewing in Eastern Europe. It's all classified, all urgent, and all landing on Trump's desk before most people have had their first cup of coffee. Trump isn't new to this. He received these briefings in his first term, too. Reports from back then say he liked them short, sharp, and visual. Lots of charts, maps, and bold headlines. Today, in 2025, insiders hint he still prefers it that way. No fluff, just the facts. By 8 a.m., he's huddled with his national security team. Think Vice President J.D. Vance, Secretary of State Marco Rubio, and a handful of generals, analyzing threats and planning moves. It's high-stakes chess, and every piece matters. A big part of the job? Looking presidential. The afternoon is often filled with press conferences, meetings with foreign dignitaries, and signing ceremonies. This is when the cameras roll and the world sees the leader in action. Ever wonder why presidents always have those handshake in front of flags moments with foreign leaders? It's not just for show. These are calculated diplomatic moves. Even a simple photo op can send a message. Oh, let's not forget, travel. If the president isn't in Washington, they might be giving a speech in another state, visiting a disaster site, or flying off for an emergency summit across the globe. As for President Trump, the afternoon is a time for a breather, sort of. Lunch might be a burger from the White House kitchen. He's a known fast food fan. Or a working meal with advisors. But don't get too comfortable. The afternoon is where the real action happens. Maybe he's signing executive orders, like the ones from late February 2025 rolling back AI regulations. Or he's negotiating trade deals, such as tariffs with Mexico and Canada, a hot topic since his inauguration. As the day winds down, things get even more intense. Crises don't follow a schedule. Whether it's an economic collapse, a military strike, or a global pandemic, the president has to respond immediately. Take the Cuban Missile Crisis in 1962. John F. Kennedy spent countless hours locked in intense debates over whether the U.S. should go to war. Those moments behind closed doors are where history is made. But here's the truth: no day ever goes as planned. If a hurricane is barreling toward Florida or a terrorist plot is uncovered overseas, the schedule is thrown out the window. Back in his first term, aides said Trump thrived on chaos, jumping into crisis mode with energy.
Take a look at what happened.
In 2025, that hasn't changed. By 3 p.m., he might be in the Situation Room, eyes locked on screens, giving orders while the Secret Service stands nearby. If time allows, the president might sit down for dinner with family. For some presidents, this is sacred, untouchable time. For others, it's just another meeting with world leaders, cabinet members, or key advisors. Trump, however, is known for late-night phone calls, often with world leaders or close allies, like Elon Musk, who is rumored to have his ear in 2025. Dinner is usually casual, maybe steak and ketchup in the residence, followed by a scroll through X, where he's back to posting after years away. His team says he's obsessed with real-time feedback from supporters, but even then, the job doesn't stop. Phone calls with generals, foreign leaders, or members of Congress can happen at any moment. The president might even have to address the nation in a primetime speech. By midnight, the White House lights dim, but Trump's day isn't over. He might catch a few hours of sleep. Reports say he averages 4 to 5 before it all starts again. It's a grind that ages presidents fast. Just look at photos from 2017 to now. The hair is still golden, but the lines on his face tell the story. Yet for Trump, this is the life he chose, twice, a mix of power, pressure, and pure unpredictability. By the time most of us are asleep, the president is still working, going through final briefings, last-minute intelligence reports, and making decisions that can't wait until morning. It's lonely at the top. Dwight Eisenhower once admitted that the hardest part of the job was the burden of responsibility. At night, when the West Wing is quiet, that weight feels heavier than ever. Every day, from sunrise to well past midnight, the President of the United States makes decisions that shape the course of history. No breaks, no sick days, just an endless stream of choices, crises, and political maneuvering. So the next time you hear someone say the president has an easy job, just remember, somewhere in the White House, there's a light on at 3 a.m., and someone is making a decision that could change the world. Now, let's hear from you. What part of a president's daily routine excites you the most? Let us know in the comments below. And while you're at it, check out some of our other videos on Daily Life Diary. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell icon, because life stories are told every single day.